Hey friends, John here from Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances. Today we're going to be doing first impressions on two old school classics. One from the 80s and one from the 60s. Let's talk about them. All right, again, Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances. Make sure that you like the channel and that you're subscribed, got the notifications on. That way you're notified every time we upload that sweet smelling fragrance related content. All right, been a while since I've done a video. I have gotten some fragrances in, but I've been pretty busy having my second grandbaby and baby girl. And her name is Magnolia, and she is absolutely gorgeous. And it's my second grandchild, as I said. My first one was a boy. His name is Jace, and they're brother and sister. And so I've been gone the last 3 weeks or so with that. We've been staying most of the time over in West Tennessee. Hadn't had any time to make any videos. So what we're going to do today, I picked this one up at a rack store. I have complained a lot about the rack stores in my area, and I don't know if it's just the time of year, but they've been starting to get some better things in. I think I picked this one, this Hugo Boss. This is number 1. I picked it up, I believe, at Ross, and our Ross typically is better than the TJ Maxx or the Burlington or the Marshalls, but all of them have been a little bit better than normal lately. Our TJ Maxx, well, I was in there the other day. They had some John Barbados fragrances. I think they had regular artisan, they had artisan pure, they had vintage, they had a bunch of different Calvin Klein Eternity flankers, like 4 or 5 different ones, you know, and then they had some other things too, 2 or 3 different Tommy Bahamas, and they had several different Versace's. They had some Dreamers and some Eros and some Mano Freshes. So anyways, I picked this up at Ross, and I knew it was supposed to be a very good, classic, old school gentleman's fragrance. This one I haven't seen too much about. I haven't seen many reviewers reviewing anything from the House of Royal Lime, and but this is Royal Spice. I bought this one on eBay, and so the label is missing. There should be a paper label on this side, but from my understanding, Royal Lime is a house from the island of Bermuda, and they started making colognes, I believe, in the 50s. Seems like Royal Lime, their signature and first fragrance was around 57. And Royal Spice, I believe this was their second fragrance, and it come out in 61. And so I'll do this one first. This is a huge bottle. I think it's 8 ounces, and it is a splash. This cap, let me take it off here. This cap is pewter, and so it's a heavy, pewter metal cap. This is a splash bottle. I did kind of get a whiff of this one because in my package it had leaked out a little bit, around the rim, so I kind of got a waft of it. But I'm going to go ahead and splash it onto my hand now. Let me just go ahead and do that. Of course, I don't know if you need to see that, but all right, so let's rub it on here. Much different than what I was expecting. I knew it was going to be, I think this one is kind of based on, rum, because rum is a staple in the Caribbean islands and places like Bermuda and different places. And the original Royal Lime, which is Royal with 2 L's, Lime with a Y instead of an I, is basically all around the note of lime. This is around spices. I still thought it would be a really fresh fragrance with it being in the heat of the Bermuda sun. But really, to me, this is more of a fall winter style fragrance. I kind of was expecting, something in the ballpark of 4711 with some spices. But this is really nice. There's like cloves and nutmeg and cinnamon and maybe some allspice or something like that. It's a slightly powdery. Seems to be some vanilla. I tell you what, it's really smooth and there's no old school funk in it at all. This smells like something, I'll tell you what it smells like. It smells like Burberry London. A lot like it. Burberry London's brighter. Burberry London is a beast fragrance. This thing projects. This thing has sillage. But this is very similar. It's different. It smells like Burberry London mixed with something else I've smelled before. But what I'm getting at is it doesn't smell dated. It doesn't have a real old school, kind of funky, oak mossy or something like that. There's none of that in this. It's real smooth. It smells high quality. Now it is much more faint. This is like an eau de cologne concentration, I believe. And so you get big bottles of it. This is described as a lotion, but it's because lotion outside of the United States is like what we call aftershave, and what we call lotion, they call balm or balsam, one of the two. So this is meant to be used as an aftershave or a cologne, but they say you can pour it in your laundry, so they sell much like, 4711, you can get, big 16-ounce bottles and everything. But what is really shocking to me is that it smells perfectly modern. Wow, I can't imagine how much different this smelled in 1961 than everything else that was on the market. So I'm really thrilled with that. This is something that a young person could wear. Now, it doesn't smell youthful, but there's none of that old school funk. All right, let's look at the other one. All right, so the other one we're going to be smelling for the first time here is Boss number 1. And like I said, this was a 1985 a release, I think. And, just nice, decent, regular kind of designer. Presentation here. Tell you what, I'm going to make a change on my setting on my camera. I'll be right back. All right. Wanted to get that whole focusing issue fixed. So here is the bottle. Really nice bottle. I really like square, clean, classy looking bottles. That's kind of my jam. I was the one, or one of the many probably, that was lobbying Guerlain to change from the Listerine bottles and put everything in the low medial bottles, just because I thought they were classier looking. And I think this is a super classy bottle. This is the new presentation. The old Boss number 1 had the pinstripes, so it looked like a boss's suit. Pinstripes. He's the boss. Now, this is brand new. I took the cellophane off beforehand, but I guess Boss don't fill their bottles all the way up, but that's okay. A lot of companies are like that. Parfums de Marly are bad about that. let me show you the bottle. All right, so again, like I said, I really like the presentation here. It's classy. The lid, moderate weight to it, plastic filled metal cap. Clicks into place, very secure. I like the boss on the top there. And sprayed immediately, so I don't know. I mean, it was cellophane wrapped, and I got it at the rack store, but maybe they repackaged it or something, I'm not sure. All right. Soapy, classic 80s powerhouse type vibes. Lavender bomb. Little animalic touch. To me, anyways, what I call animalic, it's sort of the same vibe you get from, kind of Lapidus Porum or Kouros. But boy, there's a real strong, sweet kind of honey. That's what this. I remember reading that now. Yeah, this smells like it's got a lot of stuff going on, to be honest with you. Smells like there's probably a lot of notes. In fact, let me just look up the notes here. Oh, wow, yeah. Big listing of notes there. Artemisia, bergamot, juniper, lemon, green apple, caraway, basil, grapefruit. Mid, you got honey, lavender, rose, jasmine, sage, geranium, lily of the valley, orris root, and then the base, you've got tobacco, oak moss, patchouli, sandalwood, musk, amber, cinnamon, and cedar. So one of those, like a Guerlain or like a classic Chanel fragrances, where it's just got a lot of stuff going on. It's very well blended. It's seems like the quality's good. It's not a lot of alcohol. What's sticking out in the first blast to me is that it does have a citrusy, soapy opening to it with a little bit of a kind of that, what everybody calls that urinal cake type of smell to Kouros. There's a little bit of that there. But there's a honey tobacco, accord that's coming out. That's smelling really good as well. The floral aspects are, it named several. Rose, jasmine, geranium, lily of the valley. I can kind of get floral nuances, but it's not like you can, it's not like rose is sticking out or protruding or jasmine sticking out and protruding. Seems like they're just kind of there dancing in the background just to give some soft touches to maybe that soften up the tobacco or the cedar or the oak moss, This smells like a boss. This smells like a confident, CEO. It's very masculine. I can't imagine. I don't know. Everybody's skin chemistry, it could come across different if a female could wear this. But this is obviously a man's cologne. It's marketed towards men. It's very masculine. This is not for somebody under 25. This is unless they have really classy taste. So of the two, this is what's interesting. 1961, smells like it was made in the mid 2000s. 1985, I think, smells like it was made in the early 80s. But what I'll say about it is it's very alluring. I just really like it. It's rugged. It's clean and soapy, but rugged at the same time. I think I like it. It smells like things that typically I don't like. You know, I didn't like Guerlain Habit Rouge. Didn't like it at all. I don't really like Aramis. It smells a lot like Aramis, but it just smells better to me. More wearable. The animalic part is toning down now, and it's just really getting sweet and clean and soapy, and there wasn't any leather mentioned. I think it's probably the tobacco. A lot of times tobacco will remind me of leather, like a rougher leather. It reminds me of something that my dad used to wear, and I don't remember him having this. It doesn't really smell to me like Drakkar Noir. Maybe Chaps a little bit. That may be what it's reminding me of that my dad wore. It don't really smell like Paco Rabanne. I mean, although I could see maybe there being some sort of just decade-wise, you know, it smells like it's from the same time period, and you know, you might even wear it around the same thing, but I don't know. This is just really classy smelling. A surprise. I'm going to try to wear this, give it some wearings, and I'll come back and do a full review. I'm going to have no problem whatsoever wearing this. You know, so I know this will get worn. I will drain this bottle probably. I'm going to try to wear it in the heat, just see what it does. But to me, I think this is going to be really good in the cool and the warmer weathers, which is not what I bought it for. You know, again, I thought it was going to be something to wear this summer in the high heat and all that. I'm going to try it and see what it does. But it's a, you know, like a precursor to Spice Bomb, or precursor to Tobacco Vanille, or, you know, Burberry London. Very similar style fragrances. Cremo, spice, and black vanilla. So here we go, guys. Have you ever worn either one of these two classic vintage fragrances? If you have, let me know what you think about them in the comments down below. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, comment. All those things helps to build the channel. It gets it in front of more folks. So till we see you down the road, we say God bless. Frag on, Frag fam.